Hi everyone, today I am going to talk about self-esteem and how you can improve your self-esteem and how it keys into Maslow's pyramid of self-actualization.
In psychology, the term self-esteem is used to describe a person's overall sense of self-worth or personal value. In other words, how much you appreciate and like yourself. Self-esteem can influence life in a mass amounts of ways, from academic and professional success to relationships and mental health. Self-esteem, however, is not an unchangeable characteristic. Successes or setbacks, both personal and professional, can fuel a shift in feeling of self-worth. Feelings of high or low self-esteem often start in childhood. Family life that is riddled with disapproval can follow a person until adult life. Low self-esteem can also become a problem because of a poor school environment or a dysfunctional workplace. Likewise, an unhappy relationship can also alter a person's self-worth. If you grew up with wealthy parents, making a couple $1 million and then going on to have a middle-class paying job, you're most likely to go on to feel like you will never be good enough until you have reached that amount of money. This would be the same if you grew up from a poor background and became very successful, but you feel the sense of accomplishment and self-worth. No person is less worthy than the next, and no one is deemed more important. Knowing this detail is crucial to feeling more confident and having healthy self-esteem. It helps to put aside fears of being worth less than others. Now let's talk about Maslow's pyramid of needs. Self-actualization represents the pursuit of reaching one's full potential. The concept is rooted in a theory established in 1943 by Abraham Maslow. The psychologist set forth a hierarchy of psychological needs, illustrating an order of human motivation. This concept is centered around the humanistic perspective. At the base of Maslow's motivational pyramid lies psychological needs, such as air we breathe and the food we consume. Once these needs are met, it is possible to pursue needs to safety, love, belonging, and self-worth. Self-actualization occurs when the more basic needs are met, and it becomes possible to strive to add meaning and personal and social fulfillment to existence through creativity and intellectual growth and social progress. As Maslow himself states, what a man can be, he must be. This need we may call self-actualization. Esteem is the second largest tier to achieve a sense of creativity and lack of prejudice. A majority of humans that try to pursue self-actualization get stuck and unable to pass this level of esteem. So much so that 1% of humans have actually made the self-actualization and top of the pyramid. Now let's talk about Sigmund Freud's id, ego, and superego. Perhaps Freud's single most enduring and important idea was that the human psyche or personality has more than one aspect. Let's start off with the id, which is the primitive and instinctive component of personality. It consists of all of the inherited and biological components of personality, such as birth, including the sex instinct. The id is the impulsive and unconscious part of our psyche, which responds directly and immediately to basic urges, needs, and desires. The personality of the newborn child is the all-id, and only later does develop into its ego and superego. The id, or also called the middleman, is the part of the id which has been modified by the direct influence of the external world. The ego operates according to the reality principle, working out realistic ways of satisfying the id's demands, often compromising or postponing satisfaction to avoid negative consequences of society. The ego considers social reality and norms, etiquettes and rules in deciding how to behave. The superego, also known as the angel, incorporates the values and morals of society, which are learned from one's parents and others. It develops around the age of 3 to 5 years old, during the phallic stage of psychosexual development. The superego's function is to control the id's impulses, especially those who socially forbid, such as sex and aggression. It also has the function of persuading the ego to turn to more realistic goals rather than simply realistic ones, and to strive for perfection. The superego consists of two systems, the conscious and the ideal self. The conscious can push the ego through feelings of guilt. For example, if the ego gives in to the id's demands, the superego may make the person feel through guilt. This concept is a big part of self-worth. If one's superego is most prominent in their minds, and their id has little to say in their decision making, someone's minds find themselves always looking towards the positive image of their self-worth. With an off balance of any of these conscious selves, our mind can wander into a multitude of different thoughts that can be negative or positive. Building self-esteem. Psychologist Guy Winch, who has 20 years of experience working with patients, says the problem in our self-esteem is rather unstable, as it can fluctuate daily, even hourly. He shares 4 simple ways to boost your self-confidence. Number 1. Positive affirmations are a method of practicing. You are what you think. The idea is that you fill your mind with positive thoughts until you believe of them. I appreciate my freckles. I'm creative. I have a good smile. I did a little exercise for some people over social media. I asked them to tell me one thing that they like or admire about themselves, and here are some of the responses.
I was hanging with you, and then I realized I didn't think it was true. I was surprised when I found out I'd fallen for you. I didn't want to believe my feelings for you. I didn't want to believe that I could lose you if I told you just how I felt.
We've been dancing for so long under the stars. I feel that the grass will cut through my skin. All the bills we take have seemed to grow.
There is a wide range of answers many people wrote back responses to, having to deal with their hard work and or dedication, to which they admire, with very little responses about what they physically admire about themselves. Humans don't want to seem self-conceited to others, so they tend to shy away from complimenting themselves on their looks and instead complimenting themselves on something that is part of who they are. But something many people can still relate to, making them still be able to fit into this box everyone wants to fit into. Another way to boost your self-esteem is to show off your skills. Self-esteem grows when we demonstrate real abilities and achievements in the areas of our life that matter to us. Maybe you're good at running. Sign up for some local racing or training for them. Or keen on cooking? Throw them more dinner parties to show off your skills. Accept compliments. When we feel bad about ourselves, it's hard for anyone to drag us out of that rut. Winch says we tend to be more resistant to compliments at these times, even though this is when we need them most. Instead of shrugging off compliments as lies, you should set a goal of tolerating compliments when you receive them. Even if you feel uncomfortable, and you probably will, it'll be worth it in the long run. Say thank you and I appreciate it. Remind yourself of your self-worth. If your confidence strains a blow, the best way to revive it is if you get rejected by someone you've been dating, make a list of all your qualities that make you a great person, such as loyalty or emotional availability. If you didn't get the promotion you were after at work, jot down everything that makes you a valuable employee, such as being relatable and dedicated. Optimistic and pessimistic people. Self-confidence people are optimistic. They take action even when they are not sure of the outcome. By facing their fears and acting, you become more confident and optimistic. You become more self-confident because you are dared to act on something that is not always easy. On the other hand, pessimistic people tend to always look at the negative side of life. They claim that nothing can be perfect or even good enough, leading to low self-esteem when looking at their body image and their mindset on life. Signs of a strong self-esteem. Knowing the difference between confidence and arrogance. Is not afraid of feedback. Does not people please or seek approval. Is able to set boundaries. Is able to voice needs and opinions. Is assertive but not pushy. Is not afraid of setbacks. Learn to love yourself, because no one should ever love you more than you love yourself. Confidence isn't walking into a room with your nose in the air, thinking that you are better than everyone else. It's walking into a room and not having to compare yourself to anyone else in the first place. Tell yourself, I am worth it. I am deserving of happiness, love, health, and peace. Thank you for watching. I loved making this, and I hope you guys enjoyed it and actually took a message from it that you are your own worst enemy and that stop comparing yourself to others because it's just not worth it. And don't let anything stop you from loving yourself and who you are and what body you're born in.